The Oak Island crew, known for hiding real treasures, has been a fascinating story for over 2 centuries. The discovery of an old log structure at Smith's Cove in 1795 sparked interest in the island and its potential for hidden riches. The mania began when explorer Daniel McGinnis discovered a circular indentation while exploring his island home in Nova Scotia. The tales surrounding the island are diverse, with some linking it to the golden age of piracy, suggesting that infamous pirates like Captain Kidd or Blackbeard might have hidden their treasures there. McGinnis and his team found signs of human activity, such as coconut fiber, which suggests the pit was deliberately constructed by someone who brought materials from afar. Other theories include connections to the Knights Templar, imagining that the treasure might relate to this once powerful and strange group that disappeared centuries ago. There is also speculation about historical figures like Queen Marie Antoinette, who was executed before she could flee, leaving the treasure unfound. As treasure hunters dug an area Rick always believed might hide something important. In a related quest, Marty's son Alex, along with Gary Drayton, the team's expert with a metal detector, and another team member, Jack Begley, are making their own discoveries. During one of their searches, Gary's metal detector went wild over a particular spot, and soon they uncovered an old metal spike embedded in the mud. This find was particularly exciting for Gary, reminding him of a similar object he once saw in a Spanish galleon from the late 1600s or early 1700s, the golden age of piracy. The thrill of possibly being the first to handle this artifact in hundreds of years was a real high point for the team. As they unearthed new clues, they began to realize the artifacts might be much older than they had thought, adding a new layer of intrigue to their search. Fred Nolan's crazy swamp theory connects back to their exploration of Oak Island, suggesting that the oddly shaped swamp was purposely made hundreds of years ago to conceal a shipwreck. If his theory holds any water, it makes one wonder about the people who might have chosen to hide the ship in such a secretive way, perhaps to protect valuable cargo. As the team digs deeper and uncovers more, they move closer to possibly finding treasure and piecing together the historical significance of Oak Island. Every artifact and each dig could potentially be a key to understanding more about the past, making the island not just a treasure hunter's dream, but also a rich site for historical exploration. The Oak Island team discovered a survey stake hidden in the swamp, indicating human activity long ago. This discovery led them to explore other parts of the island more thoroughly, including a cave with carvings on its walls. They conducted metal detecting exercises in the cave and uncovered an iron piece that looked like a strap or bracket. This discovery added another layer of excitement and motivated the team to keep searching. The team considered the possibility of finding parts of a Spanish galleon or another type of ship that had brought treasure to the island. Tori Fell, part of Reflex, doing clinometer work in the money pit, was the first to spot a significant stone that everyone else had passed over multiple times. The general consensus was that the piece could have been a strap or bracket used to hold together timber on the ship. Intriguingly, the iron rod showed signs of having been exposed to high heat, perhaps even a fire. They speculated that the fire was used deliberately to scuttle the ship as it sank into the swamp. The team pondered over the extreme actions someone must have taken, not just creating the swamp, but perhaps even burning the ship. Carmen Legg, the team's expert in blacksmithing, dated the iron strap to the 1700s, helping the team confirm that something significant happened in the swamp around the mid-1700s, several decades before Daniel McGinnis found the famous circular depression. During their search for treasure on Oak Island, they stumbled upon another significant discovery: a stone-paved pathway submerged in the southeastern part of the swamp. They theorized this wharf could have been used back in the 1700s for loading and unloading goods from ships. Using their metal detectors, they quickly found an iron peg resembling a plumb bob, an ancient tool used to ensure that structures were built straight and aligned. The excitement of going down into that shaft to dig and potentially uncover an original tunnel from the 1600s or 1700s was very high. If they could unearth such a structure, it might confirm links to the money pit or the stone structure they had just found. Driven by this possibility, the team felt they were on the verge of a discovery that could completely change their treasure hunt in the swamp. When they started digging a bit, they uncovered a wooden structure under the ground. They wondered if this wooden structure was connected to the stone pathway they had found, or if it was an entirely different piece of history. They speculated that following this path might reveal more about the island's past and activities that took place there. Such findings could be crucial in their ongoing quest to uncover what lay hidden beneath the island's surface, and perhaps finally locate the treasure they were seeking. Layer of difficulty. Dave Blankenship's description of a depression found in the area, together with Jack's alignment of the hatch with that location, suggests there might be a connection between the two. The team is excited about the possibility that this hatch might lead to the well-known money pit or another valuable spot. Inspired by this possibility, they started digging the next morning on the southern shore, where they believed they might find a wooden pathway, historically known as a slipway, connected to a structure called Shaft 9. Rick, Marty, and their team recently stumbled upon something that might be the most important find of the year on Oak Island. A new discovery near the money pit was found, suggesting that there were once man-made structures on the island. Along with the wood, they found a lot of clay, which the team thinks played a crucial role in keeping the wood in good condition. They wonder about the huge effort and time that must have gone into building these structures over 160 years ago. The team is hopeful that this recent find will lead them straight to the exact location of Shaft 9, greatly advancing their quest. Understanding this landmark is essential for mapping out the network of underground tunnels and advancing the broader search for treasures on Oak Island. The past week was a roller coaster of emotions for Rick, Marty, and their team, starting with significant setbacks that dampened their spirits. Yet, they ended on a high note with the discovery of a long-forgotten searcher's shaft, which reignited their hopes. This discovery suggested they might be close to finding the original money pit, a legendary site rumored to hold vast riches. If they were to uncover a centuries-old vault filled with priceless treasures like gold and precious stones, it would be a monumental discovery that would not only validate their years of effort and dedication to the search, but could also change historical understandings. The team at Oak Island, led by Rick Lagina and Gary Drayton, was on a mission to uncover the legendary treasures believed to be hidden in the money pit. They discovered Shaft 9, a shaft that was 6 feet by 12 feet long and was believed to have been used in the construction of the shaft. This discovery raised questions about the methods and strategies used by past treasure hunters on Oak Island. Rick Lagina's methodical approach to the digging process was evident as he focused on detailed documentation and precise measurement to guide future efforts. With this new evidence, the team worked diligently to understand the full significance of their latest finds on Oak Island. As they began measuring Shaft 9, they were excited to check if the dimensions of the shaft matched those recorded in the 1850s. Upon measuring, they found that the shaft's dimensions were exactly as the old documents had recorded, providing a strong clue in their long search. However, the team remained cautious due to the site's significant changes over the years due to numerous digging efforts. As they dug deeper, they started finding more clues that could lead to big discoveries about Oak Island. Following more in-depth digging, they made a critical discovery. They found a connection between Shaft 9 and the ancient wooden slipway. This confirmation that they had indeed located Shaft 9 was a major milestone in their quest for the money pit and the legendary treasures believed to be hidden there. The presence of wooden crossbeams on top of the tunnel confirmed its age and original purpose. Now, with a direct connection to the slipway confirmed, the team had concrete evidence that they were exploring the tunnel referred to by Dan Henske. The week after this significant find, Rick Lagina and Gary Drayton went back to the triangular-shaped swamp on Oak Island, eager to delve deeper. The current conditions allowed for a more detailed search, and they carefully navigated through the area, looking for any signs of human-made structures or significant artifacts that could shed light on the swamp's historical importance. Gary's metal detector buzzed near the water's edge, indicating their method might be paying off. Rick started digging at that spot, and before long, they unearthed a ring from the swamp. This seemingly simple ring could be crucial in understanding more about their findings on Oak Island. 2 days after uncovering more of the stone-paved structure in the swamp, Rick Lagina and geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner were back at the site, filled with renewed energy to discover more about this unique formation. Dr. Spooner shared his observations, explaining that the neat and orderly arrangement of the stones indicated that they were intentionally placed and shaped, a task unlikely to be performed by natural forces. Comparing it to other sites he had studied, Dr. Spooner concluded that the structure on Oak Island was undeniably man-made, adding another intriguing layer to their ongoing exploration. The pottery fragment is another remarkable Roman artifact that the Lagena brothers unearthed. It was discovered in the island's Money Pit region and supposed to have been produced in France and dates to the 4th or 5th century AD. On the other hand, it was decorated with symbols, including a cross and a sundial. The brothers discovered several other Roman artifacts on Oak Island beside the lead sword and the piece of pottery. Coins, nails, and jewelry are some of these relics. Some people think that Oak Island was previously visited by Roman explorers because of the existence of these Roman articles. A reality television series called The Curse of Oak Island follows the hunt for riches on Oak Island. The brothers Rick and Marty Lagena, who have been looking for the loot for more than 10 years, are followed throughout the series. The Lagena brothers and their gang continued their hunt for riches on the mysterious island in the most recent episode of The Curse of Oak Island, picking up where the previous one left off. The crew concentrated on the marsh in this episode because it was the location of several intriguing artifacts they had previously discovered, including a lead cross and a stone with the Latin inscription 70 feet below. They were able to locate several abnormalities in the swamp using a range of techniques, including sonar and ground-penetrating radar, which they suspect might represent the remnants of buried buildings. One of the most intriguing oddities is a big rectangular object around 70 feet below the surface. The crew is excited to dig into this to see what they uncover, since they think it may be a treasure box. The crew must not harm what they seek, since the marsh is challenging and dangerous. Eventually, they excavated a tiny area of the item, but could not see what was within. In a later episode, they will have to go back to the swamp to carry on their hunt. Yet, the crew made modest strides on other parts of the island. They started digging a new shaft close to the marsh and continued to drill in the Money Pit location. The crew made some progress in their hunt for riches, even though they made no significant finds in this episode. They are optimistic that the forthcoming episodes will include something important. As more proof that Oak Island has long been the location of covert operations, or more precisely, clichés, the presence of a nearby treasure, the researchers also discovered traces of earlier human activity. That's not it, though. The real deal was the map they found on the island, which dated back to 1647. It was a French copy, with the labels hatch, valve, and anchor, suggested significant connections. In particular, it suggested that the money may have come from Africa, raising the intrigue around Oak Island. The brothers are convinced this map will point them toward their lost money. The series has followed their journey for over a decade, and it will be interesting to see if they can finally solve the mystery. The story goes that, in 1795, while on an adventure on the island, a group of boys around the age of 13 discovered a dip in the earth. They began digging since they believed it to be a fake hole, and as they dug, they found multiple layers of wood and other things. Yet, a mysterious flood stopped them in their tracks, filling the hole with water and blocking any further excavation. As soon as word of the discovery spread, treasure seekers from all over the world flocked to Oak Island to look for the loot. The Onslow Company, a group of financiers, organized the first orderly excavation of the Money Pit in the year 1803. This specific team was able to dig down to a depth of 90 feet before the flooding, which happened in the pit once more, hampered their attempts. Meanwhile, this find was exciting as it suggested that the road might lead to or be connected with another structure, or perhaps another road line. The discovery and exploration of this road represent a chance to connect with the history of the island, piecing together the activities that took place there long before the modern era of treasure hunters and explorers. Every artifact and structure uncovered adds another layer to our understanding, suggesting that its history is far richer and more complex than anyone might have guessed from the surface. As we wait for the spring and the resumption of work, we are left to wonder about the stories that lie beneath the surface. What were the people like who built this road? What were they doing on the island? How does this road fit into the larger history of the area? These are the questions that keep historians, archaeologists, and curious minds engaged with the ongoing exploration. The stone road is an impressive piece of work, made up of about 6,000 stones, showing it was way ahead of its time in terms of engineering. It was built wide and flat, probably so it could handle lots of traffic, possibly from a bunch of people or even carts. The careful construction of the road raises many questions, encouraging the team to delve deeper into the island's past. The discovery of the ancient Portuguese stone road on Oak Island has been a significant part of New World history, providing a model for future research into the history of the New World before the 19th century. The road's construction matches well with historical events and artifacts discovered around it, particularly British coins. The discovery has opened up new chapters in our exploration for connections to the ancient ancestors of Polynesia. The road is roughly 3 feet wide and has been built in sections, sometimes with a single layer of stones, sometimes with several. The edges are neatly lined with large basalt slabs, which are then packed in with smaller stones and organic material. The road's widest point at the water's edge, where it's shaped by wave action during high surf, exposes parts of the underlying chocolate-brown sand cliffs and the road's stone structure, now partly underwater. The discovery is not just about finding an old road. It's about piecing together how advanced the builders were in their planning and execution, showing a sophisticated understanding of engineering and local environmental conditions. The stone road's construction reveals a lot about the capabilities and intentions of its creators, offering insights into the technological and cultural advances of the time. The team is eagerly continuing their treasure hunt, driven by their passion and growing curiosity about what the treasure might be and where it could be hidden. Thanks to their meticulous research, the team has formed several theories about the nature of the treasure, backed by various pieces of evidence. One prominent idea suggests that the treasure could be connected to the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were historically known for amassing and hiding valuable items. They came under sudden and intense scrutiny on October 13, 1307, when the French King Philip arrested members of the Templar Order. Many Templar Knights escaped to Scotland, particularly to the county of New Ross, which is quite close to the island. Sir Henry Sinclair, a 14th century political prisoner and a known Templar associate, fled to Nova Scotia, and his travels and activities in the area are marked by intriguing stone carvings found in Westford, Massachusetts, and Newport, Rhode Island, suggesting Templar activity. The theory holds that the Templar treasure was initially kept in Scotland, and they would have made efforts to relocate their treasure to a safer place. Further investigations on the Orne Islands by Alexander St. Clair, a knight and descendant of Sinclair, appear to have been aimed at exploring the most effective methods to transport the treasure back to Scotland. The treasure hunt on the island of Nova Scotia is not just about financial gain, but also about connecting present-day discoveries with historical events and figures. This connection enriches the search, providing a deeper meaning and context to the search. Each clue uncovered feels like a direct line to the past, offering insights into the lives and actions of those who came before. Connecting the treasure hunt to the Knights Templar adds a new layer, mixing history with exciting legends that fuel the team's drive. The hunt has gathered a wide audience, encouraging a wider discussion about the implications of such discoveries, how they are handled, and what they mean for our understanding of history. As new technologies and methods become available, the team integrates these tools into their search, refining their strategies and approaches in hopes of finally uncovering the long-sought-after treasure. The search for treasure is more than a mere treasure hunt. It is a complex exploration of history, technology, and human curiosity. Each step taken on the island is a step back in time, a piece fitting into the vast jigsaw of human history. The Lagena brothers and their team continue their quest, not only looking for treasure, but also for connections to our shared past, making every find a valuable piece of the larger historical picture. At the Chapel of Rosslyn excavation site, a new team joined in and discovered that the entrance was cleverly rigged with traps, including a water tunnel leading all the way to the sea, This intriguing twist adds weight to a well-thought-out idea about the island's past that the Lagena group has been piecing together from their research. Rob McInnes, a filmmaker and writer active in Newfoundland, has been collecting stories about the Sinclair family's history, offering rich insights to the Lagena group and adding depth to the island's history. Despite the close proximity of the island to the mainland, these discoveries seem within reach. Digging up places like the Stone Road will be challenging and complicated, with many potential setbacks. The history of Oak Island, a small island in Nova Scotia, has become part of the wider historical tapestry. However, the complex and confusing history of the island is often due to the reckless search for rumored riches, which has led to severe damage and irreversible loss of structures. The recent burst of activity on Oak Island has brought to light its potential, uncovering a new and rich layer of history. A proper archaeological approach could transform the current treasure hunt mindset into a more respectful and scientifically sound exploration of the island's rich historical layers. By treating the island not just as a treasure trove, but as a historical site with valuable lessons about the past, we might uncover insights about the people who came to the island long ago, their lives and their purposes. Proper excavation and careful handling of artifacts could provide a clearer picture of the island's past, contributing to a more comprehensive understanding of its historical context. This would not only enrich our knowledge, but also ensure the preservation of this part of Nova Scotia's heritage for future generations to study and appreciate. Oak Island is just one of many islands with rich histories and legends of hidden treasures, calling out to those who seek adventure and discovery. These islands are not just stunning to look at, but also steeped in history, drawing in explorers and adventurers eager to uncover fabled treasures. Norman Island in the British Virgin Islands, for example, is famous for its